So you basically take out a chunk of skull, put the Neuralink device in there, you'd insert the electrode threads very carefully into the brain, and you wouldn't even know that somebody has it. The beeps you're hearing are real-time signals from the Neuralink in Gertrude's head. So this Neuralink connects to neurons that are in her snout.
To control his paddle on the right side of the screen, Pager simply thinks about moving his hand up or down. We've removed the joystick altogether.
Why does Elon want the Neuralink in our brain?
If AI has a goal and humanity just happens to be in the way, it will destroy humanity as a matter of course, without even thinking about it. No hard feelings. It's just like if we're building a road and an anthill happens to be in the way, we don't hate ants. We're just building a road. And so goodbye anthill.
For me, the bottom line is that people who talk about risks with AI should not be dismissed as all Luddites, scaremongers. They're doing safety engineering, where you think through everything that can go wrong so that you can guarantee that it goes right.
I think you just have to consider, like, even in the benign scenario where AI, if AI is much smarter than a person, what do we do?
Yeah.
What is that? What job do we have?
Believe in a benevolent AI force and cross our fingers.
Yeah, it's like but that's the benign scenario. Benign scenario, the AI can do any job that a human can, but better.
Yeah.
That's the benign scenario. Like, AI is getting better and better. So now let's assume it's sort of like a benign AI scenario. Even in a benign scenario, we're kind of left behind. You know, we're not along for the ride. We're just too dumb.
Right.
So how do you go along for the ride? Yeah, so you can't beat them, join them.
The company aims to implant wireless brain-computer interfaces that will link human brains directly to computers. For Musk, brain-computer interfaces are the only way human race will survive, given the ongoing encroachment of AI.
How does Neuralink work?
All right, welcome to the Neuralink product demo. I'm really excited to show you what we've got. I think it's going to blow your mind. I mean, it's more complicated than this, but in a lot of ways, it's kind of like a Fitbit in your skull with tiny wires. We've simplified this to simply something that is about the size of a large coin. It goes in your skull, replaces a piece of skull. It's invisible, and all you can see afterwards is this tiny scar. And if it's under your hair, you can't see it at all. In fact, I could have a Neuralink right now, and you wouldn't know.
Essentially, an action potential is an electrical impulse. A spike happens when the neuron sends information. Neuralink's brain-machine interface, or BMI, can track the spikes in real time. To learn how to use the Neuralink implant in conjunction with other devices, Neuralink has an app to teach patients. In an example, Neuralink says, imagine if you never had arms and you had to pick something off a table. You'll use the app to connect the brain activity to the movement you want to accomplish.
The link procedure, the installation of a link, done in under an hour. So you can basically go in the morning and leave the hospital in the afternoon. And it can be done without general anesthesia.
Why Neuralink really matters?
In principle, fix almost anything that is wrong with the brain.
Whoa.
Yeah, you could then create a sort of a neural shunt that restores somebody who's a quadriplegic to full functionality. Like, they can walk around, be normal.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I think in the future you'll be able to save and replay memories. I mean, this is obviously sounding increasingly like a Black Mirror episode. You could basically store your memories as a backup and restore the memories. And ultimately, you could potentially download them into a new body or into a robot body. The future is going to be weird.
Oh, it's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
What I'm excited to show you, I call it like the Three Little Pigs demo. Joyce, she does not have an implant. So here's Dorothy. Dorothy used to have an implant, and then we removed the implant. So this is reversibility. Gertrude, thanks for coming out. The beeps you're hearing are real-time signals from the Neuralink in Gertrude's head.
This is Pager, who had a Neuralink placed in each side of his brain. You can see that the fur on his head hasn't quite fully grown back yet. To control his paddle on the right side of the screen, Pager simply thinks about moving his hand up or down. Our goal is to enable a person with paralysis to use a computer or phone with their brain activity alone.